family room. And I think, I don't know, I can show you if you kind of go up to my, or the master. There's a-
I can also give you suggestions on Wi-Fi.
Sure.
Troubleshooting and dealing with Wi-Fi is something that we can.
Right. Now, he just said that there's something that he was trying to get on last night called AirPlay on the streaming business he's doing. He wasn't able to, but now he's able to, so maybe because you're standing here, Chris.
Yeah, it's because he's here.
His Wi-Fi.
It's because I want to show someone a problem and then the problem doesn't show. I don't know, but it's working now. It's just unpredictable. The AirPlay is unpredictable.
It's just unpredictable. It can fluctuate. So it's not consistent, but if he's got a business going and he's talking to a client and it's that. Okay, perfect. Okay, you take your time.
I'll be out here,
Okay.
work on some stuff, and then once I figure out what's going on out here, I'll come out.
Perfect. And I mean, what time is it right now? What time is it, Matt? Okay, I'll be here he'll be here, my husband's up here, but I've got a doctor's appointment I need to in like an hour. You know, so perfect, great. Just knock on the door, ring the doorbell, you know. Okay, thank you, Chris.
Yeah, it seems to be working now.
He said that it will fluctuate. He says he's going to work on it so it won't.
He's gonna work on what exactly?
The signal, we're getting the 600 coming to the house, but the range is being compromised. So he's gonna, hopefully before he leaves, he'll get it where the range, no matter where you're at, won't fluctuate.
Okay.
It records
They
this,
absolutely
okay.
do.
So if I wanted to have him go over in that bay, we could just get another one just like that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just Walmart would have that, or
Mhm.
Best Buy, or?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Or
Maybe let's write that down so
they do have power over or Ethernet over power. They're devices you can plug into a wall outlet, not circuit breakers, but a wall outlet,
Mm-hmm,
and it will actually convert this signal
uh-huh,
through the electrical cable you have existing in your home.
uh-huh.
Problem with that, it doesn't give you your true speeds either.
Right.
It makes it better for packet loss, but it's
I may have that here, let me bring it to you.
not the greatest.
yeah, it's like I'm trying to use this to I guess try to find new potential clients. I mean, I'm finding clients, but I'm also finding fans who would support my business.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is this what you're talking about? I've had that for a few years.
This is a Wi-Fi extender. Yeah, it's a Wi-Fi extender. It's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So it looks like this though.
Okay, uh-huh.
It has the same concept of design. You plug it in, you plug an Ethernet cable into it, and then it will filter power or your data communications through Ethernet through your power system in your house. But those tend to not be 100% reliable. I have one at my house. The max I can get is 30 megabits a second though.
Wow, yeah,
But it's old cloth wiring home.
right,
So
right.
it's not Romex like these houses
Right,
have,
right,
which
right.
would have a better.
So what do we want to buy if we wanted to get something like that?
Your best bet.
Lockdown, I'm going to go on a mission to try and get hench. I'm doing this because I'm stuck inside with not much to do and I've been neglecting my gains and diet. I've also roped in the help of Britain's fittest man, who is a guy called Zach George. His Instagram account is terrifying. Look at this bloke. This is my coach. He looks like he does push-ups for fun.
Why do you do that? When are you ever going to need to do a handstand press up?
Yeah, he seems like the opposite to me in every way. I don't like the gym. I find it very anxiety inducing. I don't think there's been a week in the last 2 years where I've not had at least 1 pint or 5 pints. You're the fittest man in the UK, is that right?
Yep, so yeah, I currently run the CrossFit Open. So I think there's probably around like 15,000 entries in the UK. Yeah, so I won that overall.
Training isn't something that I've really done properly.
We can just put for gym experience pretty much 0.
But yeah, put 0 down,
Okay.
that's fine.
So
So we're getting the say range. range. You had talked about, we've got the 600 coming in, the range is because our house is
Yeah.
so big and we've got lots of matter
Yeah,
between
like
that.
from like. So I was telling him earlier. So we send frequency through
Uh-huh.
this coax system,
Right,
right?
right.
We send signal to it.
Right,
The max distance we go
Uh-huh.
is 300 feet.
right.
From the corner of that house where your tap is to
Right,
here is like 500 feet.
right.
And the big problem that we
Right.
reside in is that this cable right here is a
Mhm.
thicker cable.
Uh-huh,
It's a 6 size cable or 6.0 size cable.
right,
Well, your house is ran with 5.9, which is a smaller diameter.
Right.
So that 300 feet, when it's going through the house, it's going to dramatically reduce the
right,
amount of
it's,
signal that comes through.
uh-huh,
We even have an amplifier down your
Right.
junction room right now,
right,
boosting signal all the way up to here.
uh-huh.
Our main problem was that we were connected to that Action Tech box right there,
Back to the white thing,
the black thing.
the black, okay,
Okay.
uh-huh.
So here,
Yeah, okay, hold on a second, I wanna hear what you say. I wanna show you where there's maybe another space for that. Go ahead, honey.
So yeah,
Mhm.
that was causing issues. We cannot have that, the amount of distance where this modem's at, we cannot have that plugged in because
So it's not plugged in now?
it's not. I
Okay.
disconnected it because it was taking a lot of signal frequency away from that modem.
So does your schematic say there may be another place in the house that has one of those puppies?
I don't no idea what that Action Tech is.
Okay.
Well, I
It's
do.
called Action Tech?
It's what it is. It translate Ethernet, kind of like that power concept I was telling you about.
Right, uh-huh,
It will have Ethernet go over coax, but
okay.
with the amount of signal loss that we've already had, we
Uh-huh.
can't install that. as
So
on our
was
network.
that on before?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
s-
don't know. When I got up here, it was plugged
Oh,
in.
it was plugged in. Okay, what were you saying, baby?
hello Nikki. Hi. We're just working out some technical issues, trying to make it going faster. So I have a streamer watching. And so right now it's saying it's having skipped frames detected. Still, it's saying 85% over the last 2 minutes. So that's even being plugged in here. So now we're plugged in. So like that's as good as it can get. Is the fact that I'm using an iPhone 8, is that slowing me down because we are thinking about getting the iPhone 11, thinking that because someone has suggested that might make the frames go faster and stuff, but what do you think?
Good question. I don't know.
You don't know?
I know that you have great signal though.
Okay, yeah, so I don't know why it's can you think of any adjustments that like could be made here to reduce the amount of frames skipped?
I don't know.
If we got the 1,000,
That wouldn't do anything.
wouldn't do anything.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
No. The frames is so your frame rate is your refresh rate on the device. So when I'm playing video games on my desktop computer,
Uh-huh,
I have a $1,200 video card in my computer to keep up my frame rates high.
okay, well, 1,200,
But that's like my 2080 Ti NVIDIA.
I don't know what that means.
It's a video card.
A video card?
Yeah, and
Is
it's
it expensive?
for streaming and stuff like this. You'll need like capture cards. You'll need great video
Right.
cards. You'll need. You're probably right on the money on a desktop computer
If he had a desktop
But-
computer, it'd be a better situation.
because you can. Well, because. This will be able to tell me how fast this modem is.
Now, is that yellow card cord ours, or did you bring that?
It was here.
Okay.
So does being plugged into that, does it affect being able to have the AirPlay? Does that affect the AirPlay?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about AirPlay.
Okay, yeah, me neither.
NVIDIA?
NVIDIA,
Mhm.
and the other one is AMD. A as in Apple, M as in Mike, D as in Delta.
AMD.
Oh, boy.
AMD.
Okay.
Those are two manufacturers that make great video cards. And how the AirPlay goes, It could be the phone that's causing the issues. There's a lot of different factors. in play
Yeah,
right now.
that's what, because I've got like a couple of guys who are like able to look at like my
I've got to check.
like my techie things, and their suggestion is for me to get an iPhone 11, and yeah, we were just hoping to.
Have you tried a different phone?
I have not tried a different phone because my phone is the most advanced phone that we have here, I think.
So up to 600 megabits, I'm getting about 730. So you're getting 150 more than what you're paying for.
Yeah,
740.
wow,
So
awesome.
and the upload is up to 10.
The upload is up to 10, what's that mean?
It's mean you have fast upload. Oh, now we're up to 16, 17. But this is, I'm surprised it's doing this well
Yeah.
for the amount of cable length that we have coming to here, the amount of signal we have.
Take a look on it.
You're surprised it's doing that well?
Mhm.
You skipped frames, you know, and
Well, you're probably getting skip frames. I'm doing speed test. I'm pretty much maxing out your bandwidth right now.
What do you mean?
So you have a pipeline of 600 megabits, right? I was downloading 750. So any device else that's on the network trying to use it is getting absolutely nothing.
Right now, at
Yeah.
this moment?
Well, not this moment. About maybe 30 seconds ago.
Okay. Yeah, because it's right now it's showing me that I've got 5 dropped frames. Detected 10% over the last 2 minutes.
So it could just be the laptop. Maybe, who knows?
I mean, when we were trying to run diagnostics on it, they said that it was adequate, that it was up to par at the very least. I'm trying to find where to get to encoder settings.
What technology does Apple Play or AirPlay use? Does it go through Wi-Fi? Does it go through Bluetooth? Does it go
I think
through...
it's Bluetooth. I think.
Does it go through the... Is that an Intel processor? Does it go through the Intel processor? I don't know.
I don't know if it goes through that.
That's some research that you might want to look into.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but internet's working great.
Maybe this will do something. Encoder. Let's see. Maybe type in encoder.
But I would write these guys an email, be like, hey, I'm paying for your subscription. I need your help. Why am I suffering from frame loss? Internet's good.
Yeah, I wish I could get them on the phone that easily.
No, I mean, you'd have to probably email them.
Okay.
That's the for companies like this, the best way to contact them is email. They're not set up for a call center yet. They're not that big.
Okay.
So if you send it through an email, they'll get through it. Might take a couple of days. That's have you sent them an
Here-
email about it? And they
No,
can probably
but
look at your account and see what your setup
They're
is.
saying I need to maybe that I maybe need to. I'm looking for encoder setting things.
And see, encoders are software rendered, so it all depends on how your RAM is, how your processor
It might
is.
be. It's not. See, now it's not. It's not doing it. It's not doing it now. I thought that was it, but then it was freezing up. I mean, I'm trying to put on a show with good quality. So because before I start trying to like advertise for this, you know, because I mean I have plans to be able to make this something, you know, really cool, multifunctional and helpful to a lot of people. But I mean, if I'm having just these issues, then I'm not gonna be able to do that. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing now. Now it's not responding to what I want.
It sounds like your laptop's little fan is. Do me a favor. Right click on your desktop, your tool or bar down there, just that gray bar.
Right here?
Go to your left a little bit more. So you're just on that blank gray bar. Right
Okay.
click on it. Go to Task Manager.
What is this? I don't know what that is.
you're 100% almost on your CPU.
What does that mean?
It means your computer's running really hard and hot right now.
Okay. How can I make it go easier on it?
You have to get an IT guy.
An IT guy
Mm-hmm.
to do what?
To break it down for you.
Mom, he's saying that I need to talk to an IT guy.
You need to talk to who, honey?
An IT guy.
Like Mary?
What I'm just saying is, he's just an idle right now, just a few things open, and he was going up to like 80 to 90% on his CPU usage. I can see that causing problems. My computer, I can run some really in-depth games, and I never get up to 100%.
Yeah, and I'm playing relatively simple games.
So what would you suggest that our IT person would have to do?
They would go through here, see what programs are being utilized,
Yeah.
what programs can be shut down, what's running in the background, to try to make the maximization of this computer. If not, they'll probably recommend, hey, this is what you're trying to do. You need a whole different piece of equipment. It's like probably trying to go into an Indy 500 with a Geo Metro right now.
Now, what you just said.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
What you just
Indy
said was
500?
was that English? Was that English?
Speech, Indy 500, huh?
You know the Indy 500 they have? Yeah, you're
That's a race car, right?
yeah, you're trying to race it in a Geo Metro.
In a Geo, oh, I see, the
You
Geo
know,
Metro. I thought those
yeah.
were computer terms.
No,
okay.
that's-
These are cars, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
sorry. We are not.
So you would suggest she needs to clean out everything he's not using so he can increase his DPU, right?
FPS.
FPS?
Frames per second. That's what he's losing, right?
Yeah, it says it's skipping frames.
So that
31% over the last 2 minutes, and that's enough to make no one want to watch it.
and it could be so there's a lot of factors here that I'm not a professional on. I know your internet's working good, but besides going past this white box, that's out of my realm.
Okay, no, I get it. So you've maximized what you can do, at least in this space here, for him to go do.
Yeah, and if
Right.
you're going to do anything, you'll need to get another cable, string it over there,
Right.
and then get this to a point where it can handle what he's trying to do, or the phone itself, who knows. I would see if anyone else has a phone that you can try that has a newer phone, because I would hate for you guys just to go buy a new phone for it not to help out anything,
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
Do you need to look at this other spot downstairs to see if
We can look, see if that other
things-
thing down there,
Okay.
I just know we can't use
So I
that.
guess we'll go to Mary. So you would also, so let me go back to this video card business you were saying for your own personal. I know this isn't Comcast would pay you to tell us. If we bought how many video cards would you have to buy? Would you have to use it in a desktop, not a laptop?
So
They can
the
video
video
cards work
card,
on a
so
laptop.
it's like pieces to a car.
Okay.
This video card is, okay? It is
Listen to this
the
man.
processing power for your video display. It's what compiles your video graphics. Okay? You have memory, which do this way without getting everyone confused here. You like to cook, right?
Mhm.
So let me give you a breakdown on how computers work.
Mhm.
Okay? So you have your kitchen, right?
Mhm.
You have your refrigerator, you have your kitchen counter, and you have your cook.
Okay.
Okay, so CPU, have you ever heard that terminology before? Essential Processing Unit.
Mhm.
Think of your CPU as the cook.
Okay.
It's the one that, messes with it goes in the fridge, grabs the stuff, goes to the stove, goes to the counter, puts everything together. Have you ever heard of the terminology RAM?
Yeah.
Think of RAM as your countertop.
Okay.
You ever heard the terminology of your hard drive?
Sure.
Hard drive, think of it as your refrigerator, which stores all the food, all the
Okay.
condiments and stuff like that.
Right. Mhm.
So your CPU or your cook, when he is assigned a task
Mhm.
to make a sandwich,
Mhm.
he then goes to the fridge,
Mhm.
opens
Hard
it
drive.
up,
Mhm.
goes to the hard drive, grabs one piece of the
Do you know all this, Matt?
condiments, let's say the ham, puts it on the counter and makes his way back to the fridge. He grabs one piece at a time, right?
Mhm.
And then what the RAM does, it's where the CPU puts the stuff out of the fridge,
Right, okay.
so it can make this meal.
Right, right.
And then it makes its meal, and then
Right.
takes all the condiments off of there and puts it back in the fridge.
Okay.
So when people say cores, on the CPU. CPU has multiple cores, different types of
Mhm.
CPUs. So if you have like a 16 core CPU, you have 16 cooks.
Okay.
You know how much faster that would be for 16 people to make one sandwich?
Right.
If they are all assigned one individual task?
Right.
That's
Be
what
quicker.
the cores. And the RAM is the amount of the counter space. So if
Right.
you have 4 gigabytes worth of memory, you have this small little counter space.
Right.
So you can only put so much on it at one
Right,
time
right.
before it gets too full.
Right.
You get like a 16 or 32 gig megs of memory.
Right.
That counter space is huge. So you could take everything out of the fridge, put it on the countertop, do everything real quick, and put it all back.
Right. Right.
So in your video card for all this
Right.
is the vision of the person looking at everything.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have someone that has poor vision, poor sight of it, they're
Right.
having a hard time
Right.
finding their way around and
Right, right,
compiling all
Right.
this.
Right.
So the better the video card, the crisper the image, the more power they have to be able to see what's going
Okay.
on. That's what the difference in the video card is. So, like I said, I have, like, my video card is worth more than my CPU, is worth more than my RAM, is worth more than my entire computer put together. That
Wow.
one video card is.
Wow.
Just
Where do you
be-
buy? Oh, you told me the NVIDIA.
And, yeah, I have the NVIDIA video card, and it's worth more than any other part on my computer.
So, you mind me asking how much you paid for your video card?
My video card, $1,200,
Wow.
just for the video card.
Mhm.
Then I paid
Are you listening to this man?
$600 for my processor.
Don't do this.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I paid,
You're the one.
I'm
who's
just trying to make
sorry.
sure that the stream
Well,
that the
I
thing.
may not be able to explain as well he's doing. Okay, my love.
Okay, yeah, well, yes, I know.
Okay,
I'm just
alright.
okay.
so this is the video card also. Then $600 for my processor. I paid about maybe $200 for my RAM. I paid $120 for my motherboard. Then the power supply to power all
And
the
this is all on a desktop. So can you get, not if you want to, a video card for a laptop?
You can't.
Cannot. It
That's
has
the
to be a
problem with
desktop.
the video card. You can get those powerful, but the laptop itself is going to be about 3 times more than the desktop you buy because of the mobility.
Right. Okay. So how many video cards can a single, would you get more
For
than
what
one
he's
video?
doing, he probably doesn't need the type of video card that I got.
Okay,
He probably needs an AMD Ryzen RTX 3700 might be sufficient, and those are like $400.
Well,
alright. Okay, so if his main complaint is that he's getting frames skipped, it's probably because he needs to get another computer
Or
and
the
get a
phone.
video card.
We-
Or what,
we-
dear? Wait a second.
Or it could be the phone,
Or the what, dear?
or his phone. That he
it
has
could
right
be
now.
the
Or
phone too.
The phone could solve it, do you think, maybe kinda?
That's what my other.
Hold on, yeah.
Okay.
Who knows?
He doesn't know,
Without trouble, like
without
without
trying
getting
it out.
exactly
Mhm.
without getting another phone and testing it out.
Right,
So if he has a friend
right,
that has a phone he can test it with for a half hour to an hour,
Right,
we won't
right.
really know. But if he's getting the same results,
Right.
and I think it's really from that AirPlay. Like
okay,
I don't know what most people use for their capturing through their cell phones. I'd
Mhm.
probably do some research on other streamers on what
Mhm.
they're using to see how they're making it work.
you listening, Matt?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay,
a lot of streamers are.
Okay, so the signal is maxed out for what you can do right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Okay,
it's pretty far.
we
over.
got it, and for him to get the best reception, he should be pretty close to the router.
You should be hardwired in.
Okay, let me show this other spot. Do you have any other questions for Chris, Matt?
No, he gave us some good information and
Okay.
confirmed other
All
things.
right, his video card, I don't know if you heard him, is $1,200.
That's how much I paid for it. It might be a little cheaper now
I
because
know.
the new video cards are coming out, the 3080s now. Those cost a lot more, but I wouldn't go that route.
Okay.
That's just way too much. Like I do it just for today's games once in a while.
Are you still there, Nikki? Yeah, yo, Nikki, we're gonna have to have a phone call one of these days. You know? I really appreciate you coming into so many of my streams. Especially while, you know, I'm getting this thing up and going now. Trying to make improvements on it. So, yeah, I'm gonna go grab something. I'm gonna be right back. Let's see. hi. Hi, thanks for popping in. I'm sorry. Trying to figure out some technical issues in the house. Trying to get it up and going. Trying to get... Yesterday, spent all day. I didn't get onto my stream very much because I was working on getting faster internet. And so now we got the faster internet. But there are a couple other issues that we are working through. I want to make this a good quality stream. Okay. Dylan. Yes, Dylan. Okay, I will call you Dylan. Okay. I'm getting onto a meeting here soon in just a second. Which we talk about very interesting content in the meeting. Let me check something else though. Okay. Okay.
Thinking about trying that. I remember you showed us this video that was like dopamine, like.
Oh, the dopamine cleanse?
Yeah, that's what you call it. Yeah, where it's like you don't do anything fun for like the whole day or something like that, right? I think I need to try that because like.
So we're gonna listen in on a discussion which helps people get over
And it, like, shoots down motivation and stuff, so, like, I feel
addictions,
like if I do
unhealthy
that, I'll
addictions, and
actually,
help
like,
them
get motivated again.
create healthier habits. So that's what we're
just,
gonna
like,
listen in on.
pushing them off,
I'm gonna
you know,
participate a
that's-
little in the conversation
that's
too.
what
So I
gotta
hope
do
you learned
first.
something.
Yeah. I think that would be beneficial. It is kind of an extreme event, though. All of a sudden going from everyday dopamine nonstop to zero.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's how we like to do things.
exactly. Yeah.
We go hard.
Eli or Dylan, hopefully that is the issue because right now I am plugged into an Ethernet, so it should be as good as possible. I'm plugged in.
Usually doing these dopamine intensive activities.
Right now I'm living in yes, my family's house
I
for
would
right now.
suggest just creating a plan and sticking to it. So you don't have to think yourself, because you can't think your way out of it. You can one more game it for like 7 hours.
Yeah, that's true. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that sounds like me every day.
So, it's like that's why these are important too, is because these groups are like they kind of help you feel like accountable, and they help you. You know, it's like you could be playing and now you're in this group. You know, it's like it pulls you out of yourself. So you need like you just daily plan. Come up with something, 2 or 3 things that normally is in the middle of your video games that you just have to get up and do them.
I haven't watched that movie yet. It's on my list.
Say, I know that I'm gonna try to talk myself out of this, and that's already.
Oh yeah, I'm already doing
I need
it
to be in a
now.
special mood
That
for a
sounds
new
gross.
show.
But I know it's gotta be
Otherwise, I
good.
just rewatch old shows, and
Come up with something
so I can multitask and do other things. I'm usually rewatching
set
old
your
shows.
expectation bar for now extremely low.
Have you seen the show Cursed?
Well, like what would be like a good example of like something?
Walking down the stairs and back up the stairs.
Seriously.
I mean, if that'll pull you away for 5 minutes, dude, that's 5 minutes that you got
Yeah.
back. That's getting you out of your loop. Anything to disrupt your loop is all.
Okay.
Do
Alright,
that every-
yeah,
do that
I'll
every-
do that today. Up the stairs and down the stairs. I'll do that.
And then you can expand it the next day after you've successfully done one loop shift. Now you can go down the stairs around the house, and then maybe you can even enter the great outdoors and go down the street.
Whoa. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you say to yourself, go for a walk around the neighborhood right now, then your brain might be like, that sounds like a terrible idea. Okay, yeah, you're right, I agree. Let's just keep playing video games. But if you start by going down the stairs, that works. Go around the house, that works. And now all of a sudden you're like proving yourself that you're capable of doing that kind of stuff.
Just slowly show myself, slowly work up to it. Okay. Yeah, I'll do the stairs thing today. Just something to, mix it up for sure. Because I've been doing the same thing for like years and years and years. And like, I've heard a huge part of like addiction is to not even just get off the drugs, but to break, the habitual cycles that we have.
It is indeed a new life that you're seeking here. This isn't just removing drugs and alcohol. It won't work. I mean, maybe it will, but if I've seen a lot of people in and out, and just stopping the drug use or the alcohol use is just not going to cut it. It needs to be a bigger change than that. You need to have like a newfound joy in life, which is so freaking cool. It's like beyond cool. Joy and sobriety were 2 words I never thought mixed. Like those were like magnets that like would never touch. So the fact that you know what I mean? Like, what the heck? It's cool. What's up, Matt Rodman?
Yep, that's me. I'm Matt Rodman. Hi. How you guys doing? I was late because we're trying to figure out some internet issues in my house. It's really annoying. Really annoying.
Are you in Utah or are you in AZ?
I'm still in Utah, but I'm trying to figure out how soon I'm gonna go to AC. AZ, not sure. As soon as I can. Just because I got some family stuff going on down there that I am especially trained for to be able to help. So, yeah, soon. I thought I would be there by now, but no, not yet. At least another few days, maybe a week. But I'm trying to get there as soon as I can. Just got a few. Honestly, I don't know exactly what we're waiting for at this point. I'm kind of needing to get like a new phone, and I think I'm kind of waiting to get that new phone to make sure it's functional, like for because what I'm doing a lot now is I'm doing streams of playing like little video games, and also talking about fitness and health related stuff and other controversial questions that people like to ask. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, people like my answers to my controversial topics. So, a lot of that kind of stuff. But I need to have like my technology better so I have a higher quality. So I want to like make sure that it's good quality before I leave here, so that when I go there I can tell like, okay, I know everything is good on my end, and if there is any problem, then I just have to talk to my house manager about upgrading their internet, or I don't know, make a simple change. So
House manager.
yeah, or whatever.
Are you gonna live in a sober living?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I'm in contact with a friend of the family that I'm gonna rent a room with, and so I just want to know, make sure that everything on my end is good, so that when I get there, I know that the issue would be on their side and not on mine, So I think once I get that set, then I'm probably gonna go to Arizona then, just because doing these streams I feel like is going to be kind of a crucial part of my next phase, as far as what
My
my
next phase.
yeah.
That almost sounds like it sounds good. It just sounds like your next. It sounds like a Goku or something. Like
I am evolving. Into Charizard, and I'm just figuring out, making sure I can fly. So, no, I don't know. I talk weird. That was the word I chose. Yeah. So I'm just working on getting those kinks out, because besides that, everything else in my life is kind of going in the direction I want it to. So yeah. What?
Twin Town.
I'm on with them right now.
Okay.
I'm on top of it.
So the curriculum has the topic today. It's called creativity in recovery. So, what do you guys think about all that?
I think, okay, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think it's a good thing to talk about. I was listening to a TED Talks a couple of weeks ago about creativity, not as it pertains to recovery, but basically, I think the big message in that was, like, we're not creative. Like, creativity isn't really happening as much as it should be. Part of that is because of our, desire to be plugged into everything at once, and people living inside their phones, people, not being able to make it through a whole movie without checking it, 55 times. I mean, that we need to simplify things in order to be more creative. Maybe I'm screwing up the whole thing, because I've listened to numerous TED Talks since then. I might be combining them all together. I don't know.
Well, if you are, you're doing a good job at making a point.
Does it make sense that, like, we're too preoccupied to be creative now? That, like, we have to force ourselves to just sort of abandon modern conveniences in order to get back to... And I'm not saying we gotta go live in, like, a freaking hut for, an indefinite period of time in order to weave a basket or something.
That would help, I bet, though.
I bet it probably would. I mean, think about how much time... I mean, we find all these things all the time from ancient civilizations that are very intricately made, and
sure,
and all of the time it takes to do something. But look at how much time they had.
Well,
it's all
we're in an extremely specialized society. For example, we each specialize in something very different, which would be, I guess you could say, what we get paid for. And then when we buy our food and other things, those come from people who specialize in those things. Back in the Stone Ages or whatever, everyone had to specialize in everything. So they were a lot more talented and skilled at everything than we are. But they maybe weren't as talented as a fisherman as you, or as like a psychiatric helper is Rebecca. Nurse, is that it? Are you a psychiatric nurse? Yes. Therapist? Or, I don't know.
Registered nurse.
Registered nurse, yeah. So it's like, with our specialized skills, we don't really need to be good at a lot of things. We just need to be good at like one thing, but be better than you at it, kind of.
Yeah.
You know. So it's kind of crappy, but you're right. It's because now I can afford everything instead of back in the day where it's like you kind of need to know everything.
Yeah, and if you can't, and if you don't now, it's like you have to have someone else sort of augment that in your life, and you pay them, right?
Exactly.
To do that, to do those things that you cannot do, or you need extra hands because your life is so complicated. I mean, I look back on my life like 4 or 5 years ago in Mission Viejo. We had that big house, and it was before I divorced my wife. We had somebody for everything. I mean, I did as much as I could, but at the end of the day, I mean, we had a landscaper, we had all the friggin', housekeepers. I had general contractors and plumbers and electricians, but a lot of it was just because I wanted to have more time. I wanted to be time rich rather than I'd give away all the money in order to have more time. And that was the whole thing about like Ted Kaczynski, right? He was completely against industrial, like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this was the whole premise behind, like. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not bringing up Unabomber shit like that. I'm just saying, like that was his whole point was.
No, I'm like, my highlights are when I go backpacking because of that concept. Is you're right, I have more time to be creative, and I'm really connecting with other people because we leave our phones in the car, and it's just the four of us, and we're talking and we're exploring, and it's just life feels more alive. You're in nature and stuff, and it's like something I'm getting like. It's really like a true vacation. Because to me, it's like nowadays you go to Hawaii, you're still on your phone, you're kind of chilling in the sun. You know, it's like, there's still like something missing. But it's like, I like what you were saying, or even what Jason was saying about taking that dopamine detox. It's like all the same stuff we're talking about here. It's like if you remove all of this stimulation, now it's like your mind has the ability to stimulate you. And it will do a better job than any video game will, and any book will. You know what I mean? It's got like intense creative power, but it's just so stimulated all the time.
Yeah, and to further that point, I think that my belief is that really all of us really wants that deep down. Like we really want to get to that realization and practice that. But we're so to your point earlier, you were talking about how much we want comfort. We want to be comfortable, and it's really uncomfortable to do that for a lot of people because it's sort of like the fast food of life. You just want what you want, you get it immediately, and you move on to the next thing instead of doing without or being uncomfortable. But I've been in uncomfortable situations my whole life, and I mean physically too, where you are forced to be creative and think of ways to.
I gotta go.
Those are good memories, right?
Yeah.
Those are also good memories.
Yeah, some of them are very perilous memories, but somehow made it through, and then look back on it now, it was quite perilous, but then. You're like, yeah, but it was so basic though. It's just, you get back to like your basic instincts, of making it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know many people that would agree with me that says, yeah, if I could just make it through a day or 2 or 3 or a week without the burden of my phone or the burden of having to look at and see what I'm missing, you're not really missing anything. Yeah, I mean, I might be missing the opportunity for a job interview. I might be missing call from my daughter or something like that, but look, I mean, part of self-care is just being able to cut loose of the things that don't serve you well.
Oh yeah, the biggest part, I would say. Rather than adding, I think true peace comes from subtracting.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the terrible part is we're left with ourselves, and a lot of us don't really want to look at ourselves. Because you're right, it is a little uncomfortable mostly I think because we're habitually trained to be stimulated all the time. So it's not even that we don't want to look at ourselves. We're just uncomfortable because we're not being stimulated. And so it's like we just don't know how to, and it kind of comes into like, it's almost at that point it's almost like meditation, really. It's almost like when there's nothing there, that's the closest thing that I can imagine to being in like a meditative, at least a meditative type of state. You don't have to be like legitimately sitting lotus position and meditating, but just having no distractions there, like that's pretty much the same thing as meditating anyways. You know, when it comes to how your body's, you know.
Yeah, I've tried all kinds of those therapies too. You reminded me of this like therapy where you get in this tank of water and you kind of like.
Oh, the float tanks.
Yeah, I wonder what that's like. I have yet to do that. I've done magnets. I've done EMDR. I haven't done electroshock, but I've done other shit like.
Hop on Groupon, dude. There's float tanks all the time. They're super cheap. You can get like 10 sessions for like $100.
The only problem with that is, and I'd love to do it. The only problem is I have terrible tinnitus, and it's quiet is deafening to me. It's completely uncomfortable.
You can have music. There's a music option in there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Metallica.
It's just don't rub your eyes.
No.
Because it's like 99% Epsom salt. So it like, I was in there the first time and I was like, I have like sweat rolling down my forehead, so I just was like, like my eyes just started burning and it was just a disaster. It was a disaster.
So what did that do for you?
What, you mean the experience in those?
Yeah.
I had a monthly membership there like 2 years ago. There's one that just opened in San Juan back then. Honestly, it's weird. It's almost like, so you're in there and time starts, you start being like, what the heck's going on? Like, this is kind of silly, you know? And the next thing you know, it's been an hour and you kind of just like, it's almost like you weren't asleep and you weren't awake. Because your body won't fall asleep because you're in water, but you don't feel, by the time the music starts ringing and it's been your hour, it doesn't really feel like it feels like you were just sleeping, kind of. It's a very weird sensation, but you weren't. So it's almost like you were sleeping while you were awake. So I guess it would, you know, felt very restful. Didn't quite feel like sitting up and meditating and being like, you know, dodging your thoughts all day. Kind of felt more like of a weird in-between sleep and awake state. Which is cool, but there's something about like being in like a legit meditative state where you're trying to just sit with yourself. It didn't quite feel like that. It felt more like trying, like in between sleep and awake. Do you know, can you see what the difference is? Does that make sense?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like it just puts you in some kind of an altered state.
It's like a trance kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I might give it a shot. I don't know. Maybe experience is very, I don't know.
You want to know one of the coolest thing that I've ever done? It's I forget what it's called, but it's flashing lights. They have it at the Laguna float tank. It's really fast.
Light therapy. Light therapy.
And it's called something special, and it wasn't necessarily that cheap. But what you do is you close your eyes, and it just shoots these lights at you super duper fast, like on your forehead. And I'm telling you, like, you legitimately, like, it is really cool. It's like you start seeing like the lights because your eyes are closed. You start having like these closed eye visuals, and it's just a really cool experience.
What is it called, Martin? What is the name of that?
You try to find that.
Or you can just take it offline and sort of chew up time here. But I am interested. So.
Yeah, you should be. It's the coolest thing ever.
The eye movement therapy is cool.
That's kind of what it. Oh, you mean the EMDR?
Yeah, because it they have this thing, it's like it allows you to compartmentalize a traumatic experience so that it's easier to put in its box or whatever, and then so you're not looking at the whole thing all at once, which is overwhelming for people.
Right. Dude, they don't have it anymore at the Float Lounge. That's super annoying. I don't know what it's called.
Well, it's probably banned now or something.
It very well could be, dude.
Yeah, it works too well to cure people, and all the therapists complain.
It's funny.
These Zoom classes are killing me, man.
Come on.
My son just walked in because I'm the same first day of school, so it's the same thing. It's messy.
Do you want to go help him out really quick? Does he need some help?
Nah, he'll figure it out. I'll let him try it out real quick.
Okay.
I mean, I started school, dude. It's they use the same thing that college campuses use, Canvas. And like yesterday was my first day of school, and it was just, it's not a user-friendly system at all. Like assignments could be in different places. The links can be sent to different places. He's kind of a computer nerd, so he does a little better. He's like really good at computers and stuff. But it is messy at best.
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend's been using for college. It's Canvas, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
How long has that been out? Because the teachers at these schools don't seem to really know much about it either. But.
So Canvas has been out.
I went to college.
Yeah, Canvas has been out a while, but like Jason said, it's an outdated program. Dude. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like if you ever go on like video chats or like you go on websites where there's discussion and there's
Oh yeah, I
different
remember
like
the discussions. I had to do that, like comment
Yeah.
on say and
it's
stuff.
kind of like a almost like set up like a Reddit or like a discussion forum.
Yeah, it is. It's like a forum setup. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's super like there can be an assignment in the discussion, there can be an assignment in the modules, there can be an assignment in the assignment. You know what I mean?
Modules.
And that's what Canvas looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, you put my 12-year-old in front of that, and she's just gonna be like, "Fuck you guys, I can't. I mean, seriously."
Yeah.
Did you ever take an online class, Matt?
Yeah,
Did you
of
take an
course.
online class?
Yeah,
A lot of
college.
times, that's what I'm saying. It's the same kind of thing, but
But what you're describing is eons behind the stuff I was taking in college years ago. I mean, we had damn near this, really. I mean, and for work too. You know.
They have a little bit of this. They do this. Like right now, he's doing this Zoom meeting. But even that, like the teachers, like not everybody's computer literate. Even these teachers, man. You know what I mean? So like, one teacher has the link here, another one has it there.
Exactly. They put it in different places, but you expect it to be in the same. It's like it really only starts once the class is over, and you try to figure out what the hell.
Do you have any advice, like real quick advice, like for like the layman that doesn't know it or is learning it? Like what is the one thing that you should do to help you navigate?
Always ask your teacher where the link is.
Where the link is?
Yeah, like where the assignment's gonna be, you know, so you don't like have to scour for it later.
So like drop it in a chat or a text or something.
Yeah, or just like have her tell you, oh, you click on assignments and then it's right there. Or like, oh, you click on modules, it's actually in modules.
All right,
or it's in the discussions.
Yeah, thanks. I'll pass that along because that would help at least to say something like, make sure you ask the teacher where the assignment is in Canvas or.
because all the teachers put them in different spots or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
And then and Matt, I think there's at my kid's school, there's a parent portion of it, so you can kind of review what they're doing. So you have like your own access to it. You know what I mean?
Are you guys getting paid?
No, of course not. Dude, I'm right there with Rebecca and Jen, and I mean, it is like I'm so lucky I'm not working, but at the same time, I'm like I want to go back to work because it's just it is like man, it's. And then like even with me taking my college class, so like what they're doing is instead of using instruction to teach these kids, they're doing busy work, and they're doing that in college too because everything's all online. So now it's like respond to the discussion, like or do this little thing, basically things that just take up your time, instead of like actually teaching you something.
Oh wow.
It's pretty annoying.
Here, fill out these 5 worksheets and then class is over.
Dude, I had like 8 discussions yesterday in my first day of school, and I'm like, seriously? Or like, respond to your classmate's introduction. Like come on, dude. Like, like, what does this have to do with business?
Pretty lame.
Chromebooks, and then it's preloaded with all their apps, and then you open the apps and it says that your Google Chrome's browser doesn't support this crap, and
Oh my gosh.
How is this possible? It's a school issue computer. Like, it's crazy. And then the fact, like, so yeah, the Canvas parent thing, but then there's the AIRS
Okay,
portal, the school
so we're
loop, the
doing
CapitalUSD.org,
um,
the Clever, like, you have
Summoner
5 different
Showdown.
accounts, and I can't
Show
get
up.
into Clever at all. Like, there's
Just to
no.
test it
all
out,
3 of my kids
see how
are
this
not
goes. I haven't done
registered
this yet,
users. It's
so we
ridiculous.
may be
And
in
I
for a
sent out
surprise.
probably 10 emails to tech support
Okay.
and no response.
Yeah, Capo's. I'm in Capo too. And like it's funny to see their emails because they email you like an hour. Like there's a meeting in like 30 minutes. And you're like, seriously, you couldn't have emailed me about that 2 days ago. It's messy.
My husband that I was screaming motherfucker at the computer. The computer on it.
So I heard. So what happened at Capo at a school? It was a middle school. I won't say which one, but oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I mean, if my daughter was in this class, I would be absolutely like livid. Some kid, some middle schooler, like somehow they can post up their screen, pulled up porn, and showed it to the class. The teacher was just petrified and could not figure out how to turn it on. It ran for 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh my God.
In front of the class, it was just like sitting there. I mean, I just can't believe that now we've reached this level of pranking, that.
Well, it's
depraved.
It's
I mean,
it's funny, dude. To me, it's like that's what you get when you put middle school, like 15 to 25 middle schoolers into a Zoom group. It's like it's an unpredictable batch of kids, dude. Those are ruthless kids.
Yeah,
not like talking crap on your kids, but like, come on, like we were all middle schoolers. Like they're clueless, they're fun, they're spontaneous. They don't think the same way adults think.
Yeah, it's not the act itself. It's just that there's this whole notion that even just being in this meeting with you all, I mean, we're strangers, really. I mean, I'm letting you into my house, and there's a certain level of agreement that, that we have of anonymity here in this group. It's a safe place, and it should be. School should be viewed the same sort of way, but sadly, you can't help the very few bad apples. But as a parent, I mean, I would be so pissed off. I can't even describe especially a father of a daughter. I mean,
right.
To sit through that, I mean, and then the teacher not knowing what's going on or how to do it and what the consequences are for that kid that did it. But that's just one of the bad stories.
Well, I think if anything, this will speed up the technology process of getting this kind of thing user friendly.
Yeah.
To where you just press a button.
Hopefully, though, but like, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I've worked for like corporations where it's when it comes to like logistics management things, they're usually like 10 years behind. You know what I mean? If you go stay at a Marriott, believe it or not, like their reservation system.
This is not going well.
You know what I mean?
Not going well at all.
That connects to a different interface, but they're using it's. So I mean, I don't know, dude. It's tough. It's weird. I just hope they go to school soon, man.
Cheapest, crappiest platform they can find.
Yeah, but then again, dude, capitalism, tech company sees as an opportunity, makes a user-friendly platform. They get rich. Everyone has access to this stuff easier. It's like that's the whole concept of supplying. You know what I mean? That's the whole concept here of like why this system works. Is because if there's a gap or a hole in a market,
I'll tell you. Yeah, Martin, it's like one of the few current platforms that are commercially available. Because 10 years ago at work, I had an office, and then my whole office, there was one conference room that had 4 screens up, and each one was connected. One was Chicago, the other one was New York, Dallas.
Sure.
And you would go in, and there was a camera, but that technology existed. It was very expensive, but you walk into the room, and you're there. You're there in someone else's conference room. But that's old. Now we have this, and everybody is using it. We've got all kinds of variations of it, and it works. But I think people are ready to get back into being with each other again.
Kids need to do that. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of stuff I hear on TV, but there's got to be a way to get these kids in school somehow. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's messy. I don't know if the teacher has to stand in the fucking, like a liquor store box or whatever, but like, you know what I mean?
Like a jury, like one of those European jury stands or whatever, where it's you're in the glass booth.
Put them in the penalty box and be like, look, dude, that's you right now.
Penalty box.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No,
I understand how they would open up.
I see what you're saying.
They open up movie theaters. Movie theaters open up today, I think, or Monday,
Oh, really?
21st. Yeah, they're gonna open up movie theaters, but not my school. Or, we get all this shit going on, like where people are opening up stuff, but they won't. I think my gym filed for bankruptcy. I had to find another gym recently. I mean,
Dude, it's because this is like, we don't need to get. I don't want to get too into it, but this thing spreads so fast.
yeah. Well, ultimately, education in schools, should be up to the states, to open.
Right.
And our state
I'm by no means like I don't have the solution here, and I think that's kind of like realistically like it's one of those things that it's so tough. It's so tough, like because it's affecting all of our lives. So it has such a big impact on all of our individual lives that it's like it's hard to not have opinions and try to do stuff about it. But I do think it comes down to like, okay, so what? Like 6 months ago, I had 100 things to do each day. Now I only have 4. It's like we just have to like really take advantage of those 4 things that we have to do and do them to the best of our ability, and maybe spend more time doing them, and not let ourselves get too lost in wanting those other things. I know I'm not saying it's easy. I'm struggling with it too. Like I swear to you, I'm struggling with it too. Like I was going, I had a very complete scheduled routine that's been completely just shafted.
Yeah.
Basketball anymore. You know what I mean? My whole physical routine is completely busted. Like
there's just like so many unknowns though too. Like as a parent, right? Like first of all, it was cool if you're on unemployment and you were getting the benefit. Now that's gone. You know what I mean? And then you don't know how long this is gonna last. So like, how do you go back to work? You know what I mean? It just drags shit on, dude. It's messy.
It's messy, alright, man.
And then right now we got an election going on, so they're just too busy fucking yelling at each other. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh, I cannot stand the government, bro.
I can't stand either side at this point right now. It's like, you really?
No, that's what I'm saying.
They're going back to session for the fucking post office. Like, it's like, really? Like, what about all the people that are freaking on unemployment?
It's not a democracy.
Yeah,
I don't live in a democracy.
No, it's and that's what sucks, dude.
Walmart's pocket.
Yeah, I mean, everybody start an LLC and start paying yourself through an S corp, and then hopefully you start doing better.
Yeah, no, start your own companies now.
Yeah.
That's who this benefits. But even small business, it doesn't like. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, here it really helps small business. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but like Uber and Lyft won't be in California beyond the 21st, operating legally, unless they agree to the stipulations the state has set forth regarding employee rights and things like that, because they're people that are those Uber and Lyft drivers don't get benefits and so forth and so on, but they won't agree to that. So there's all kinds of issues with Uber and Lyft. Like we may not have that going forward if they don't agree to it and say, we're just not going to have it in California anymore. So
yeah, that's just another example of a corporation that makes millions and billions of dollars that's not willing to like do the right thing.
Help.
I can see both sides of it. I mean, they're skirting around $500 million in tax evasion, basically, because they're not paying taxes and they're not providing things like unemployment insurance, health insurance. I don't even think they 1099. I'm not sure.
Anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they view their drivers, but
they're 1099.
They're 1099. Okay, maybe so they're 1099, but nothing else really. So
nothing else. So they have to pay all the employee has to pay all the taxes.
And neither company wants to do that at all. And they've issued statements saying they won't comply, and California's saying, fine, after the 21st of August, you're not going to be operating legally in the state. They say, well, we're going to defy your orders and operate anyway, but then it opens up room for competition. More people to come in that will comply and run their companies that way. Independent drivers, people that...
the hard part about it all is like, if they did comply, now all of a sudden the rates are...
Yeah,
it's almost like I like buying my $4 T-shirts at Walmart instead of buying $25 T-shirts or $45 T-shirts.
Yeah,
it's
but
not about American.
that's competition.
Like, cutting corners is part of what we do.
Yeah, that's
we like to do that.
But I also view this like pandemic as almost like a reset. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't Lyft and Uber before. You know what I mean? If you had to get somewhere, you figured it out. You called somebody, you took the bus. And it's the same way. Like everything is being so on demand right now, and it's like, dude, I remember when I was a kid, you didn't like eat out every day. Now you eat out like every day, right? Like you just DoorDash some shit, or like things need to kind of reset in order for everything to kind of start working again. Because that's why everything's becoming so. It's all these little service niches that people are filling in. That are I mean make things better, but they make things worse, right? Like look at traffic in LA, look at look at pollution, right? Like look at the carpooling. It doesn't even exist anymore because the Lyft and Uber's a carpool. So there's good and bad that comes with it, but I mean, do you really need does that guy who's sitting at home not working right now really need to take an Uber to the liquor store, or to or like to go to McDonald's and then drive back? You know what I mean? It's like, get your lazy ass up and go to McDonald's. Get your lazy ass up and walk to a liquor store. You know what I mean? Like, it's good and bad. It's a little bit of everything. Everything has to kind of be reevaluated as to how we're doing things, because right now we're so disconnected and everything's so fast and so easy that, I mean, if you look at how much money the average person is spending on food, eating out nowadays, like, and you wonder why everybody's fucking broke. Because you don't have time to do shit because, like, your phone tells you looking at this is too busy. It's too more important than actually, going to the grocery store and cooking something for fucking kids.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have that option, or iPhones do, but I'm not sure if everyone else does, about, like, screen time.
Oh, yeah.
That's a trip.
I mean, you go to Costco and get a hot dog and a drink for $1.80, $1.79 or whatever. Where else can you go and get a meal for, like, $1.79? I mean... Eating out has never been as cheap as it is now because of this.
Yeah.
Because there's competition, more people want to do it. We even have, like, I'm on San Clemente Life. People always post.
Oh, you're on that nasty place?
Yeah, I like to watch the fights with the mom and stuff. No,
San Clemente Life is terrible.
San Clemente Life. Well, there's a couple of them, but there's all kinds of people that make meals on a daily basis, 50, 100 or more meals, and they have them all pre-made. People can just drive by and pick them up. They're like $5, $6, $7, $8 that these restaurant owners have been making in their restaurants or at their homes, and it could be anything from like cakes and muffins and cupcakes and things to full-on blown meals that are people can live on cheaper than actually going out buying the food and preparing it at home. Yeah, I like that. I haven't done it, but. Seems like something I would try. I don't know, because you're helping out those people too, the small businesses, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's a weird world right now.
It's a weird world.
It's like a side hustle.
I think ultimately though, right? Like at the end of the day, just isn't the goal here, like kind of what we were talking about earlier, just like get comfortable with ourselves, like if we could figure out ways to get like okay without being overstimulated, like that's our problem, especially alcoholics, especially people who struggle with anything addiction wise. It's like we really are susceptible for those just like, I guess you could call it like numbing agents or something, of like video games or phone, or all you have to do is just wait a little while and your brain will come up with what it wants to use as a numbing agent. It'll find something, and it's just, you gotta like,
They could open up the gyms, that'd be cool.
There's a gym that's open that I found in Laguna Hills. My daughter actually told me about it. It's one of our friends, one of our family friends opened up a gym there recently. It's actually a boxing gym. But they have free weights machines, a lot of mats, and there's a lot of boxing and shit like that happening there. But they're open. They don't have a locker room, but they're open. I don't know.
Cool.
In case yeah. I'll drop it in the chat box.
Is 24 Hours still in business?
Yeah, but they went bankrupt. They filed bankruptcy. They closed like a lot of spots.
I don't know if the one in San Clemente open? I think so, no.
The big ass one in Irvine shut down.
Yeah.
The big one is that the one in the marketplace?
Market.
No.
Matt, I have a written question.
Which Matt?
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, sorry.
We got two Matts. We got two Matts here.
iPad or non-iPad, Matt?
Wait.
Non-iPad. I don't have my glasses on. When you fit, we laughed at when you said ahi too. I was like, do you fish? Do you guys sell it, or do you is it just personal?
So you're talking, me? Yeah, I don't have a commercial license, so legally I can't sell it, but I've been offered money for fish before that I've caught.
Okay,
I don't usually sell it, I give it away. Like, I have friends that I've given 10, 15 pounds, it's a couple $100 worth of tuna, just.
Yeah, our family, like, my husband, like, he has a guy who just got back from Alaska, and we had this fresh backpack halibut, and it was like and when you said that, I was like,
yeah.
But there's not really, like, I mean, I'm from the Northwest originally, but there's not really any, like, good fish markets here, so I was just, when you said that, I was just
yeah,
cool.
I could give you a couple fillets if you want.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've got all kinds. I've got belly, loin, tenderloin, and some sashimi meat and stuff like that. But
oh, come on, that's what we let. Oh, come on.
That's good.
No, that's like
just belly, sashimi.
Yeah, he's like random. He's like, he's like saying, like, I got the Bentley in the garage. Like, I mean, it's like crazy shit.
So this is like, that's like about, if you go to a sushi place, they probably pay about $150 for this.
I know.
Yeah. So with fish I caught, the last big tuna I caught was about a $2,500 fish if I had been a commercial fisherman, but I'm not. So I just pay the money to have them process it, a couple $100, like $225 to process the fish. Go pick up the meat, store it in a deep freeze, and then proceed to give it away to family and friends. And I probably eat a fraction of what I catch.
Wow.
But I've been offered, you get offered often you could go to the marina once you get off the boat, and someone will say, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 for that fish," and some people don't. It's like illegal.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, when you said that, I was like, that's cool.
Let's do a check-in. Feelings, something you're grateful for, your plan for the day, and then one thing that you do that's creative, or one thing that you have done in your life that kind of hits your creative bone.
I'll go. I'm feeling relaxed as usual when I'm in these meetings. I'm laying down and stuff. Feeling comfortable and a bit more open-minded about, trying to stop the whole crazy dopamine cycle that I've had going forever. So my plan today, I gotta do chores like always. That's always in my routine. Do self-care after this, brush my teeth, shower, all that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do the stair walking thing, even though it sounds kind of funny. I'm gonna try it just in the middle of after a game or something like that. I'll just go walk up the stairs maybe every hour or something like that for 5 minutes. Something creative, huh? Damn.
You could even say like I like drawing. It doesn't need to be anything crazy.
Oh, dude, I suck at drawing. Stick figure central. Wow, that's kind of hard. I don't know why that's so difficult. That just shows how uncreative I've been for such a long time.
What about when you were little? What'd you like to do?
This was a lame one, but I guess when I was in like middle school, they had like these like Nike ID things. You could like design your own shoe, and I like designed the shoe and stuff. It was like all colorful and stuff. I guess that counts as being creative.
So you like designing stuff?
Yeah, to a certain extent, but I never really pursued it or anything. You know, like I wouldn't know where to start now.
It's fine. You have a creative side to you. We all do. It's part of our brain.
It's just been lost forever.
Just like walking down the stairs, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, sure. I guess I just took forever to realize that. Small steps. I just jumped into it.
Who's up? James.
I'm feeling a little anxious today, a little overwhelmed. My plan for the day is I'm gonna work out after this. I have some online work to do, and some reading to do, and then pick up the kids at daddy daycare. I'm grateful for my kids and my family, of course, and my sobriety. Ways I can be creative lately. I've been being creative with my meal planning, like prepping meals and trying to eat like good fitness meals and stuff like that, and getting my nutrition in order.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research on that.
Sweet. That's what's up. Cool, man. Appreciate it. Hot Rod.
Who's Hot Rod?
Matt Roderick.
Me? Okay. I was wondering. That was my brother's nickname when he was in the army. The Hot Rod.
Really?
Yeah. He got like an award, like from like the army, like a sword. They gave him a sword.
Dude, that's cool.
So, and the sword has like labeled, Justin, the Hot Rod, Roderick. So, yeah, people usually just call me the Rod. So, I am the Rod to quite a few people, mostly named from my fraternity, who called me the Rod mainly, which is kind of what influenced the name of my business, which is Rod Fit Lifestyles. So, anyways, feelings.
So no Hot Rod. That was Tester.
I will gladly don the Hot Rod title. It's just
Okay.
I just want to give a disclaimer that my brother is the Hot Rod. So
He's officially Hot Rod.
he is, yes,
Okay.
according to the military. But I like it. I like that name. So I'm doing great. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm working on making like improvements on little things in my life that I feel are going to have a really great payout, and I'm really motivated and excited right now.
Nice.
So yeah. What am I? We're supposed to talk about some grateful. I am grateful for technology, bringing our world together in these trying times. I mean, it's been quite a long time that I've been, where my primary social life has been online stuff, which sounds depressing to say it out loud like that, but now it's like, oh, everyone's on my level now, so I feel like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm experienced with this, I can handle this, welcome to my level, so it's it's fine.
I'm jealous. I can't stand this stuff. I need people.
Yeah.
I'm like the kids, dude. Give me school again.
Yeah.
I do. At least we have this, I guess. This is
Yeah,
1/10.
about that. I'm just thinking about all these kids that are going to be expected to know how to read, write, and send emails. When they've never done that before. I'm just waiting to see all of this just come to a crashing halt. And us realize that okay, this is not sustainable, and seeing where the limits are. But I think the world is changing huge as we know it. And what, I think change is good, because it's even though we are further apart from each other, because we are relying on this communication, in a way it is bringing us closer together and making us identify issues that need to be addressed. That people are now focused on lots of things of the past. So, because the future is very uncertain at this point. So, I like that our culture is starting to look at things that need to be changed. And I think that is a positive thing. So, yeah, that's my thought.
What something you do for your creative Zen touch?
My creative Zen? Well, couple things. I play games, strategy games. I also like to give speeches. I like to teach lessons. I feel like when I'm
to give speeches.
Well, they come off as speeches or lectures, but really what I mean is I like to be able to teach people an idea that they haven't really thought about very much. I like to teach.
Matt, have you ever heard of Toastmasters?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds like if that's something you're into. I started doing Toastmasters just briefly because I wanted to know more about public speaking, but then you do a couple of them and it's profound. So.
Really?
Seems like it's right up your alley.
Where would I look into that? Instagram?
Your local chapter of Toastmasters. Just type in, wherever you're at. Like, I would type in Orange County Toastmasters, find out where they're at, and go attend a couple of.
Well,
I've heard of it. All right, we'll get into that later. We kind of gotta bust out these.
That's cool. Thank you for that suggestion.
Against.
I may need to look into that. Sounds cool. Yeah.
So then, what's something that you're gonna do today?
What's something I'm gonna do today?
Yeah.
I have clients that I'm training today.
Nice.
And apart from that, just marketing.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rebecca.
So, as I shared earlier, I am irritable today, a little anxious today, but I feel better than I did when I started, thanks to you guys. I'm grateful for my family, for sobriety. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm not working right now, which gives me space to navigate some of this stuff. I have a busy day today. I got to do some errands, and I have a class later, and I have therapy this evening. And that's it. Oh, creative-wise, I like to write. I need to do that more, or start doing it again. Let me say that.
Same advice to Jason as just walking down the stairs. All you gotta do is pick up your pen and just be like, hey, I'm just gonna write 2 sentences today. Doesn't need to be anything. Just write 2 sentences or something. Who cares? Set your expectations for stuff that you're trying to get into, like, as low as realistically possible. Because I need to take that advice too, I tell myself, oh, journaling would be so awesome. I'd get so much out of it. but then I think in my head like, oh, I'm not a good writer, or it's not gonna sound good, or I don't want to get into that long, nasty, you know what I mean? And I just talk myself out of it, and then I never end up journaling, and then years goes by, and I don't do something that I really want to do. But I guarantee you, if I start slow and set my expectations low, like maybe there's a good chance that I'll actually learn how to freaking journal, you know? And that can evolve into writing music, which is the ultimate goal. We also need to schedule some one-on-ones, because I don't believe any of you guys did a one-on-one last week, so we got to do those for this week, except for you, Jason, because you're once every 3 weeks.
So,
you want to do that really quick, actually, before we finish the check-in, so we don't forget? So tomorrow and Friday, I'm available all day.
Can I do
Shoot some times. What time?
Let's say, what about 11 o'clock?
You're in.
Okay, let me make sure real quick. Yeah. Okay.
I can do tomorrow at 10 again.
Alright. Matt, can you come in? By any chance? Not Roderick. I know you're not in town, but can you?
what day?
Either Wednesday or Friday.
I'm gonna have to get back to you because I'm speaking with a recruiter right now, and I need to have a phone screening with them.
Yeah.
So let me call you. You're 304, right? No, you're 300, right?
304.
304. You're 304. Okay.
Yeah, or just...
Yeah, Martin. I'll find out when she wants to do it, and then. But yeah, I think I'm open. I mean, I have a group. I have another group on Thursday at like 11. For the VA, but. I'll check and let you know.
Okay. Use this.
Hey, I'm gonna be passing right by today, this afternoon.
What time?
Like 3, 4, before 5. I mean, I gotta go up to La Habra.
4 would be money, but I have a group from 1:30
All right.
to 3.
I'll put it in my calendar, and then I'll text. I'll call if there's a problem.
If it's after 3, that's good. I just have something till 3. What about you, Jen? When can you come in?
Would you say Wednesday or Friday?
Wednesday or Friday?
That's therapy. Isn't tomorrow Wednesday?
Yes.
Friday's good. What Friday? I'm easy, but morning.
10?
Perfect.
All right. Now, Jen, would you like to check in?
Sure.
I know that good is a word. I feel optimistic and relaxed, I guess. Grateful, obviously. My sobriety, my awesome family, my just clarity, my connection with I think just myself. Like, I like who I am.
Awesome.
Now. My plan for today is I have my 2 sons are here. He's leaving. My oldest is leaving. So tomorrow, and so we're gonna go grab. I was like, "What do you want?" And he was like, "In and out." So we're gonna go grab In and Out, and then I'm gonna help him get packed up. And creativity. I like to cook. I love to try like new stuff, and I'm not like a real chef, but like that's kind of my.
That's a really good one.
I like new recipes, and like that's why when Matt said that, I was like, oh. But yeah, I love like just trying new stuff, and yeah.
Well, that's a good one. That's one of the ones that I was thinking about taking the easy way out versus like the eating out stuff. It's almost just like, what microwavable food do I have versus what can I prep and make? Like, there's a level of being conscious and like kind of like avoiding that quick dopamine when you're actually cutting up stuff, but it's also giving you like much more of a reward. So it's like I never really enjoyed that idea of cooking, but at the end of it all, I'm always like so much more satisfied with a home cooked meal than I am with something I just throw in the microwave. You know?
Yeah, we rarely we actually ordered a pizza last night, which is rare, but we don't. I think we home cook. I do, like 6 nights a week usually.
That's
But
awesome.
it's because I have time too. You know, I enjoy it and I have time. And it's not for everybody, but that's kind of my escape. Like my kitchen is like, you know, my time.
Well, I'm also sure. I mean, I'm speaking here for myself, but I'm pretty confident that most of us, if we really tried, could make time for a lot more than we're doing. If we learned how to really schedule and follow through with that. I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of time kind of gets lost in just mundane activities. But who am I? I don't know. Maybe that's just a personal. That could also just be like personal, but I doubt it. So cool. Thank you, and I will see you on Friday.
Friday, 10, right?
10 a.m. And then finish us off, Matty boy.
Alright, so real quick, the feeling words, I feel